Welcome to Southern Times News on EveAfrique. I am Eyi Simbe Nglas. In the headlines, federal government extends NIN SIM linkage. Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC not the birthright of any ethnic group or state, says Governor Wike. A Bloma community in solidarity with Boni and other coastline communities over incessant pirate attacks. Reactions trail Dutch court judgment against Shell Petroleum Development Company SPDC. 21 Rivers Task Force officials fired for extorting traders and motorists. And in sports, Governor Wike approves purchase of new buses for Rivers United and Rivers Angels football clubs. Now on the news in details. The federal government has extended the ongoing National Identification Number and Subscriber Identity Module integration exercise by 8 weeks. The new deadline is April 6, 2021. The Director, Public Affairs, Nigerian Communications Commission, Ikechukwu Adinde, noted that the directive was passed by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami. The extension was announced during the meeting of the Ministerial Task Force on NIN-SIM registration, which held on the 1st of February 2021. The minister reiterated that the exercise would drastically reduce crime rates and provide a credible and consistent database. Pantami assured Nigerians of the benefit of the initiative as e-government services would be delivered at the ease in the coming days. Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timothy Silva, recently performed the groundbreaking ceremony of an energy infrastructure park being developed by Atlantic International Refinery and Petrochemical Limited in partnership with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, at Okpama, Brass Local Government Area, Bayelsa State. The minister also commissioned 3 corporate social responsibility (CSR) projects executed by the Atlantic International Refinery for the people of the Okpama Kingdom. The projects included the Okpama Cottage Hospital, Issa Lema Health Center, and Okpama Community Waterworks. Speaking at the event, the minister hinted that one of the best strategies to curb restiveness in the Niger Delta region is to create jobs and opportunities for youths. Moving on, Rivers State Governor Nyeso Ezenwo-Wike has condemned the posture of some ethnic groups in the Niger Delta region that behave as if they own the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC). Governor Wike said the commission belongs to all states in the region and no one particular ethnic group can assert itself as a dominant owner of the commission, as has been observed of recent. The governor made the declaration when he played host to the Interim Management Committee of NDDC on courtesy visit to Government House, Port Harcourt, on Tuesday. Meanwhile, gunmen have simultaneously attacked passengers' boats along the Boni waterways and other coastline in Rivers State. This has raised so much concern from communities within the state. In solidarity, the Bloma community has voiced their displeasure on the incessant attacks on travelers on the waterways of Boni and other coastal communities. You will recall that the state government, under the watch of Governor Wike, launched Operation Sting to effectively combat crime and sea piracy along the Boni-Port Harcourt waterways. Moving on, the Rivers State Task Force on Trading and Illegal Parks said it has sacked 21 officials of the agency over the alleged involvement in extortion. The coordinator of the task force, Felix Nwadibe, who disclosed this during an interview with journalists, said the officials were caught in Port Harcourt and Obiapo local government areas of the state. Nwadibe said 10 of the officials left their duty post for other areas they considered to be lucrative and allowed traders to operate illegally after collecting money from them. The Port Harcourt City One Love family held its 5th annual event in December to celebrate their friendship. The vision of the group started by a group of Port Harcourt City men and women reminiscing on their childhood that was filled with love and laughter and the concern for each other's well-being. The Port Harcourt City One Love spirit has as its motto, One Love, Dream. We'll take a quick break now, and when we return, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay tuned. It's still Southern Times News on EveAfrique, Nigeria. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us on Southern Times News on EveAfrique, Nigeria. My name is Iyisimbe. Moving on now, recently in Port Harcourt, the leader of EA's Presence Fellowship, Pastor Excellence Maduka, hosted a special Thanksgiving service in honor of Her Excellency, Honorable Maureen Tamino. Honorable Maureen Tamino is the ambassador nominee to Jamaica and the High Commissioner to the Dominican Republic and Belize. In her brief remark, Her Excellency Honorable Maureen Tamino revealed that her love for God and advancement of His kingdom is her staying power. In attendance were female political leaders, business leaders, and leaders of broad spectrum of schools of thoughts. Language, they say, is a roadmap of culture. It tells you where its people come from and where they are going. This was emphasized by Mrs. Onyitarela Ibere Umeri, the author of the book, Let Us Speak Ikwe. The book was commissioned by Dr. Ifesimama Melvin Sekebo, the MD of Heritage Bank. Ibere has successfully published books on Izon language, Izon Ife, Okrika language, and recently Kwere language. This is to keep the languages afloat and well-spoken within and outside the Niger Delta. The book launch was graced by dignitaries and promoters of language in the state, and one of such persons is Sekebo Ifesimama Melvin Precious, who also doubled as the sole sponsor of the book that was launched. Dignitaries at the event were the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, OCJ Okocha, SAN, Right Honorable Austin Okpara, Adokie Tombomie, Prince Charles Beke, and Chief Henry Seminetari. The first export cargo of Nigeria's newest crude grade, Anyala, is on its way to Northwest Europe. Quoting trading and shipping sources, a report from S&P Global Platts says the cargo is likely to travel from Fos-sur-Mer to Cresia refinery in Switzerland through the SPSE pipeline. Data intelligence firm Kepler said the Aframax Minerva Clara loaded a 700,000 barrel stem of Anyala crude from the Abigail Joseph floating production, storage, and offloading vessel. The new crude is from Nigeria's shallow water Anyala West oil fields in Niger Delta, which struck first oil in November. Anyala is the country's newest oil development since the startup of the giant Egina field in late 2018. Anyala has been labeled a medium sweet crude grade, similar in quality to Nigeria's flagship crude Bonny Light when refined. The second cargo will load in March, with some Asian refinery already showing buying interests. Let's go on a quick break again. When we return, we will bring you news and sports and on the foreign spin. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to Southern Times News on EveAfrique. In our sports news, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State has approved the purchase of new buses for the Rivers-owned football clubs, Rivers United and Rivers Angels. Daniel Nwakwala, the press officer of the Rivers Ministry of Sports, disclosed this in a statement issued in Port Harcourt recently. Rivers United will get a 54-seater air-conditioned luxury bus fitted with convenience and other accessories, while Rivers Angels will get a 25-seater air-conditioned coaster bus. In his remark, the Honorable Commissioner for Sports, Boma Iyaye, commended Governor Wike for his genuine interest in the development of sports. On the front, saying the appeal court in Hague, Netherlands, ordered the Royal Dutch Shell and SPDC to pay compensation over the 2004 and 2006 oil spills in Urama, Bayelsa, and Goy in Rivers State. 4 farmers had dragged Shell to a Dutch court since 2008 over oil spillage that adversely affected their farms. The court delivered judgment in favor of 3 of the farmers, ordering Shell to compensate them, clean up the pollution, and stop further pollution. Reacting to the judgment, stakeholders in the Niger Delta region said that a judicial precedent has been set for local people in the region, and that it will no longer be business as usual for oil multinationals. Thank you so much for still joining us. In continuation of the news, we have a special report on a rape case of a minor in Oyibo. Still Southern Times news on EveAfrique. The month of December comes with so much anticipation, and the spirit of festivity fills the air, with everyone looking forward to spending the Yuletide with family, loved ones, and friends. But for Mrs. Loretta and her daughter, this was not to be. On the 5th of December, their one-room apartment was burgled by an unknown person, and her sickly daughter, Favor, who can barely walk, coupled with the fact she's dumb, was raped. According to Mrs. Loretta, who is a petty trader on Sasha Water Retail, she locks her daughter in every day before she sets out. She does this in a bid to protect her daughter. So on the fateful day, she returned from hawking to meet her entrance door lock broken, a sure evidence of forced entry. The room was in disarray, and her daughter was naked, squirming on the floor, and spots of semen all over her. Raising an alarm and cursing at the top of her voice, this attracted people in the neighborhood, and a landlady's son was one of them. The young man berated her for disturbing the peace of the compound and neighborhood with her curses. In her words, he told her that all her curses will fall back on her head. Too devastated to think, Mrs. Loretta failed to take her daughter to the hospital after the incidents. Neither did she report the case to the police, nor seek help through the human rights organizations. 2 months later, the rape victim took ill and started showing signs of pregnancy. It was then Mrs. Loretta summoned courage and took her daughter to the health center in Oyibo, where a pregnancy test was run and confirmed the rape victim was 2 months pregnant. Mrs. Loretta is a widow who is appealing to well-spirited individuals for financial aid, and equally calling on human rights organizations in Rivers State to step in and see that justice is done for her and her daughter. Thank you so much for joining us on Southern Times on EveAfrique. Remember to tap the subscribe button on your screen, and also follow us on Twitter at EveAfrique News, on Instagram at EveAfriqueNG, and on Facebook it's EveAfrique Business and News. My name is Eyisimbe Nglas.